Well, hey everybody. Kind of had a little something on my mind tonight. Had several new subscribers, all because of Prepper Nation. I want to give him a thank you and thank the people that came in and subbed. Lots of good feedback. It's like I've been telling everybody that on any of these live streams that anybody does, all these small channels. There's Miss Teresa. What I said, Miss Teresa, is if we'd all get together on all these live streams that go on and support these smaller channels and help them get going. I'm one of them. There's several small channels. I don't know if they want to make 1,000 subs. I don't know if they want 4,000 watch hours. But if they do, I hope they look at this and go, he's willing to help. Leave me a comment and tell me on my limited audience, I'll do everything I can do. I'll, give you a shout out. Prepper Nation give me a shout out. TJ's giving me a shout out at TJ Prep. So that's just one of those things. But what I wanted to talk about right now was I've tried to stay away from the election stuff, but I've kind of had all I can take. They're hollering, that it's not over. True enough, it's not over. Are we in for a rough time if it is over? We are in for a very, very rough time. Just from some simple things that have been said by Biden, things that get said by Kamala Harris's husband saying he's going to be the husband of the president. Freudian slips are one thing, but that's kind of big time right there to miss saying vice president or president-elect. So we all need to pay attention to these little keys of things that are being said. So there's so much fraud. Hi, Miss Nicole. There's so much being said by the left, and that's quite possible. Quite possible, Miss Teresa. Yeah. Well, you can eat them up by watching, Nicole. You're eating up knowledge. It's something nobody can take away from you. In the first, hours of the media saying that Joe Biden was president, he was already putting together a COVID unit, saying he was going to do all these things for COVID. But yet, you hadn't heard anything about what he was going to do. That is for the people, but that's the only thing he said anything about. No more stimulus checks, which makes me no difference one way or the other, whether we get a stimulus check or not. But I want to stop real quick before I get any deeper in this. I have no problem with Republicans, Democrats, anything, any religion. If you, I'm a Christian, and I say Christian, I mean more spiritual than I do any denomination. I don't think Jesus Christ had a denomination. Anyway, not going to get religious on it. Yeah, I have a big problem with stupid too. You can't fix stupid. It can be black, white, or whatever. But just the things that have come out of the president-elect's mouth about the taxes going up, and first one thing, another. Then we have states hiding the fact that they're putting up food, and they've got all this food stockpiled. My daughter went to town today to go to the grocery store, and at Walmart was told that she couldn't have but two, actually one of the Lysol wipes when there was still some there. She said one of the things that she did notice in our Walmart here, or the closest one to me, was spaghetti sauce with meat in it. She said she found 4 and they were hidden behind something else. So, conspiracy or not, I don't know. I know about Dollar Tree, I sure do. But I'm putting this out here for everybody else to jog their memory, to make them think about where to go. The Dollar Tree, Dollar General, you got the damaged goods stores and stuff. But we weren't really hit that hard in the South, except on cleaning supplies. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, mint and dent. Hamburger meat was actually down, she said, by about $3 or $4. She said she didn't notice anything about the price of sugar, or that it was up or not. But the cashier, she was doing the self-checkout, the cashier was very rude to her. Now, on Prepper Nation, I watched his earlier video from today. What was it? He was leading into, there is a progressive shopper that tells which websites or which companies are more conservative based and more liberal based. Okay, well, she didn't buy a 25-pound bag. She was buying it by 10 pounds. She has back trouble, so she doesn't like to lift a whole lot at one time. So, look up that website if you're going to do any Christmas shopping at all, which I'm not going to. We pretty much have Christmas year round or whatever. We get what we want when we need it. We don't wait and say, oh, well, Christmas is coming. We take care of it when we need to. But that's the only thing that we're going to be able to do right now. I know, but I can't drink. I'm diabetic, so I can't drink sugar anymore. I'm all about some sweet tea. I'll take sweet tea over just about anything in the world. But we have to look at where we're going to spend our dollar and do it wisely in the next 2 months coming up. Everybody's, worried about this, that, and other, and worried about stuff. She was even she had 2 flats of 12 cans of green beans, and I don't remember what other vegetable it was she had. Oh, Rotel. We love Rotel. She had a flat of each one of those 12 cans. The woman told her she was getting too much of it. She said, well, there's no sign up. Well, the woman starts to put her hands on the merchandise, and my daughter says, look, I don't want you touching my stuff. And if you would stay 6 feet away, that's what they've mandated. So please do that. Well, the Walmart had opened at 8 o'clock, and this woman was already going on break at 10. So she told the next person coming up to watch my daughter because she was trying to buy too much. Am I being paranoid? I have no idea. Is this going to play into what's this to start happening? No clue on that either. You know, I don't, I'm at a loss on that one. You know, it's somebody being in somebody else's business. That's right, Nicole. It is people against people, and I don't agree with that. But so many people have said it, and I guess I'm following the bandwagon. But you got to start. You got to keep stocking up. You got to stacking into the rafters, getting as much as you can get, because no matter what, food in your house is going to be better than money in the bank. I know we all like to have the security of money, but you know, as long as you pay your bills and what you got left over with something for emergencies. I mean, if it's doing nothing but going and buying a box of that spaghetti sauce with meat in it and a box of noodles, that's another calorie dense meal. Well, I don't have enough cash to pull, but it's a calorie dense meal. One of the things that I've done, I hadn't showed it, I will show it. I have done sausage and biscuits is my mainstay. I love them. I eat them pretty much every morning for breakfast my entire life. But I did figure out that you can dry can leftover biscuits. The ones that you put in the freezer and you cook, the frozen biscuits. You can do the normal dry canning process, heating your jar up at 225 for the 20 minutes, then put them in there and let them vacuum seal on their own. I've got 6 put up right now that have been up for, I don't know, probably going on 3 months. They're perfectly fine. Have I tasted them yet? No. But the trick to any kind of leftover biscuit is, I'll show them to you, Ms. Tracy, I'll get it. The trick to anytime you save a biscuit, even put it in the refrigerator, a little water on a paper towel, put it over it when you're warming it up, pulls all the moisture back into it, and it's almost as good as when it first came out of the oven. Oh, I will. Well, they're not canned. They're in jars. I put them in mason jars and can them. It's what I meant by canning. I'll send you a picture, Miss Teresa. I'll show you. But somebody asked the other day about canning sausage. They said, we'll just crumble it up like you do hamburger. You can do your patties and can your patties just like if you have leftovers from breakfast or you're cooking sausage for breakfast and you have that leftover sausage, or you just want to cook extra and say, well, I'm going to can this much right here. Well, you don't really want to start up a pressure canner for 1 or 2 jars, you know. So, yeah, you can do links too. I've seen people canning hot dogs. I'm just have to beat a dog. Penelope, get down. Now, you're interfering with me. But anyway, enough on that part of what I was talking about. The thumbnail I had was Holiday was about rough men. Well, I'm not taking anything away from anybody. But we've all become soft, so to speak. Homestead Preparedness was talking about that earlier, and I'm putting out these names because I want y'all to go and look at these people, their channels, and get some of their info. I come up with a lot of my ideas from other people. I try not to overlap what they're saying, but he did have a good point. America's become really soft. At one point in time, you know, we had to do everything. We didn't just go to the grocery store or Dollar Tree or the corner market or whatever. If we didn't hunt it or something, we didn't have it. I mean, even later on, they had wood stoves. They cooked on wood stoves. They didn't just cut the electricity on. And, you know, everybody says, oh, I want to go off grid. I want to go off grid. Well, if they want to find out what off grid is, go and cut the power off. Just hit the main breaker on the house and see how long you last with the main breaker off. But what I'm saying is it's going to take rough men and rough women and a generally tougher crowd to hold up to what's coming. And it can only possibly, I'm hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. I get a lot from watching all the Alaskan, you know, life below zero and all that. When you see how hard it is in Alaska, you can only imagine how much harder or how much easier it would be where we are in the lower 48. So, you know, you got to think about that. So, but on a tough man, tough woman, we all know about the boomsticks and what goes on, and people have been talking about eyeballing. You know, everybody's talking about, they're worried about ammo shortages and this, that, and the other. They're worried about China being staged in Canada with possibility, you know, scared that China's going to come down and invade the U.S. That plays into the tough or rough persona of people. Japan did not invade the U.S. in World War II for the simple reason that they said there was a boomstick behind every blade of grass. Well, I've been in law enforcement, and for a short time, I did some other work along those lines. But everybody thinks it's all fun and games. They can do whatever they want to with a boomstick until something happens. You know, and until they have to have that point where they think they might have to use it. It's an awful feeling. It will literally make you sick. Happened to me a couple of times. I've had them pointed at me a couple of times. You will have your metal tested that way. I hope nobody that listens to me or knows me that we ever have to do that. But if China was to invade, Lord forbid, that's a possibility. You know, if we end up in a state of emergency, so to speak, you know, you're going to have to protect what you have. You need to find whoever you can around you to help you the best you can. Like I said before, don't be planning on, you know, it's going to be hard. You're going to have family show up. Well, that showed you had a kind heart, Ladette. I know several people, even around where Miss Teresa's at, that they opened up their houses that weren't affected so people could come and take a shower and have a hot shower and wash their clothes. You know, so it's going to take good people to take care of people. But in the same instance, there's going to be people that are taking advantage of people right and left. And I can't stand when somebody takes advantage of somebody. It just really just tears me up. But I've been blessed with a lot of people coming and liking channel and subbing, and I want everybody to continue to, if you see somebody that they're trying to do all this and they don't have but a few, subscribe, go and watch their stuff. You know, you may not watch the whole thing through the first time. Go and watch it, pause it, come back later and watch some more of it. I have a little bit more time than some people to sit and watch and do it. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'll have one going on TV, one on the computer, and one on my phone because I'm moving about the house. But I'm trying to support everybody that supports me. I'm trying to get the stuff together, like I told you, Miss Teresa, to build a water filter. I'll do that. I'll make a video of that. Oh, Miss Teresa, I missed it today, but on Marketplace, there was a really, really nice free chicken coop. Really nice. All you had to do is go pick it up. During my time, I didn't have a way to go pick it up. Got a truck, got a trailer, but I couldn't go get it. Yeah, I mean, it was nice. Nesting boxes, enclosed kennel, run, everything. Had two separate parts to the run. It probably would have held probably 18, 20 chickens. Easy. Yeah, it does, but maybe somebody else got it that could use it more so than I could. There is still an all-American pressure canner down here close to me over toward Tuscaloosa that somebody's wanting $50 for. It's an older one, but it'll clean up. Just don't have any roosters. Or just, you know, that's all you got to do. Just don't have a rooster. Don't ask, don't tell. I mean, you know. It's nothing like you're raising your chickens and getting your own fresh eggs. It's just not even a comparison. I know I keep saying thank you to people, but I do thank y'all because I've already got up over 1,900 watch hours. So that's great. You know, we're on that road to hours. Yeah, that's what I tell people about the rabbits is, rabbit fertilizer is the best fertilizer is because you don't have to worry about diluting it or the strength of it. You can plant straight in rabbit manure. You know, I had great tomatoes. I would dig my tomato plant, put my tomato plant in the hole, then cover it up with rabbit fertilizer, and then cover it up with dirt. And boy, it did awesome on tomatoes. I'm already planning for a garden next year. I was watching, I can't remember the name of the channel, but I was watching and they were talking about they planted the corn with pole beans, planted corn, pole beans, and squash. The corn stalk went up. The pole beans could climb the corn stalk to get them up off the ground, and the squash kept the ground covered for the beans and the corn for moisture in the ground. So I thought that was a pretty good thing there. I knew there had been some stuff done like that. Well, Miss Laura, you don't need to go to jail over it. Oh, there's all kind of stuff going on right now. I was watching Mayor Giuliani, or former Mayor Giuliani, talk, and there's roughly 400,000 votes in Pennsylvania that stand a very good possibility of being flipped. That's great, Laura, that you ordered seeds for your garden. That's something I've got to get on. I was looking at that today. When y'all think about it, share your list of your preps. So if anybody has a hole in their preps or something they hadn't touched on, or they thought of it might be something they might like or something they would eat or whatnot. You know, if you look at the DAC hams, if you look at them on Amazon, they're $7 a piece on Amazon. At Walmart, they're $3 and some change. If they were that today, I don't know. But again, Dollar General will have DAC hams. I don't know if the dollar store does. So that's good. But you can learn a lot about gardening by reading. And y'all might think this is gross, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Hi, Michelle. I'm good. It might sound gross, but when we raise rabbits, inevitably you're going to have some kits that don't make it. We always buried those, either be it in the flower garden or in the garden. You don't have audio. Am I not coming through? Right, it's compost. But what I'm getting at is it seems like as well as the rabbit fertilizer works, as well as it does, when you compost that, it works really well too. So go back to something to be kind of I don't know what the right word would be, but Native Americans used fish for fertilizer when you couldn't get anything else. And that's something I've said to people is uh, you've got to be able to use gill nets, cast nets. You know, if I was in a pinch for some type of fertilizer, I would take my cast net and go and catch large amounts of shad, which are not good at all to eat. I don't even really think they have enough meat on them for a person to eat them. But they would be cheap, good fertilizer. And a better way to use, carp. Well, now you can eat carp. I know several people that eat carp, several people that eat drum, several people that eat gar. I take that back. I don't know anybody eats gar. I see them talking about it on TV. I don't think I'm going to eat gar balls. I don't eat salmon. You know, the another channel is Prepping Outside the Box. He does really good with some of his ideas. A lot of things that I tell y'all, I see these other people talking about it, but then I think about it and I take it in a different direction or one step further than they do. I love to reuse and repurpose. You know, I'd love to have a greenhouse. Well, that's good. But then, I mean, it could very well get to that point. You know, it's a distinct possibility that we're in for another Great Depression. I sit out on my back porch and watch the rabbits and squirrels, and I'm thinking, yep, y'all just keep getting fattened up. And the deer that cross my place. Well, I don't want to be doom and gloom, Michelle. It's just, but it's living in a time of being real. I did look to see if anybody else is doing any live streams tonight. I didn't see any coming on night, but if y'all know of one or something, well, I take that back. There was one. Prepper Days or I remember my grandmother having a storm shelter and having all kinds of stuff saved up or canned up. But Miss Teresa, where you're at, you know, kind of like me, you're in Tornado Alley. I went through the tornadoes in North Alabama like you did, and I saw how people get when they get hungry. It's not a good thing. Every store within a 2-hour distance of Florence, Alabama, in that area up there was absolutely empty of any kind of canned goods or rice. Yeah, John will be doing Super Tuesday. Oh, I'm there. All you got to do is look. I support everybody, and I listen to what they have to say. I like John. He gave me a shout out to try to help me get my numbers up. He's a good guy. The one I didn't care for much at first was Angry Prepper. Hadn't seen April. I'll have to check that one out. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. April's Furry. But the more I got to listening to Angry Prepper, the better I liked him. Yeah, I like TJ. She just she just goes kind of like I do. She doesn't have a lot of times she doesn't have a real agenda. I don't know if y'all saw, but TJ said her mother-in-law was okay. Another one y'all may want to check out. I know some of you do, some of you don't. Is Bear Independent, but he does have a a website that has the areas that all the people that watch him are located uh, by state. So you might be able to find people around you that are closer by doing that. And we got Alaska Prepper, Rudy, he's real good. Grim Survival, Preparedness Living. Um, oh, we definitely all need some prepping buddies. Sometimes it can be a case of you might want to make a large order on something or buy something, and you can split it up. I'm part of a group of a little over 100 people that it's a preparedness group, but they haven't got too deep into the prepping end of it yet. Yeah, you definitely have to be careful. You have to keep everything close to cuff. Oh, I had a good friend that liked to go out everywhere and make fun of me in public about being a prepper. I had to pull him off the side and say, "Look, dude, you need to stop. You don't need to use my name and that together." I'm not ashamed of being a prepper. Exactly. I just don't want people to know that I do it unless I want to know. Hey, Vester, I'm good. How are you? This was kind of an impromptu little deal. I guess, feeling a little anxiety. Got to watching some stuff about the election and everything that's going on. Just stuff about the election and a couple other things that's just happening. Trying to, letting some of these people know about Bear Independent and how to find the listing on the mags by state for some of these. I have several ladies in here that are kind of off by themselves. They might need a little help. I'm good at pointing, Buster. I'm not pretty, but I can point. I was telling everybody thank you for watching, and that Prepper Nation had gave me a shout out and picked up some subs through that, and have got close to 2,000 watch hours already. So I had 1,900 earlier today. Telling everybody when they see somebody that's doesn't have many to start slowing them and go and watch them. I still got a long way to go. But thank you, Nicole. It'll get there. I mean, it's just one of those things. But like I mentioned in one of the other live streams on somebody else's, when they have 1,000 people in a live stream, if you can get through to those people and make them understand it, each one, if you don't like what I put out here, that's fine. But go and pick some of these other guys, and out of that 1,000, if they pick up 100, they're doing good. You may not ever go back and watch them again. You may not like it. But just like me, for y'all coming in here, it makes me feel good to know somebody at least is, liking what I'm having to say, or on the same page that I am. And it makes them feel a little bit better about what they're doing. Maybe they'll try a little harder. Miss Teresa and Vester sent me I hadn't posted at one point in like a week, and Vester was like, "Come on, you need to post some more stuff." I was like, "Well, it wasn't taking off, but I'm gonna go on and post something else." Miss Teresa said the same thing, and that's kind of where these lives come in. I get something posted, but when they run about an hour, they're kind of running long. But when you sit around and don't have anything else to do, oh goodness, I'll try harder. I'll try harder to have some common sense, Vester. It's getting that time of year that when it gets dark early and cold outside, and these live chats probably come maybe every night just because it's nothing else to do. You can't get outside and work till late, so yeah, at least you got $1. You got some folding money, Vester. But realistically, we were talking about all this, and people talk about bugging out. The majority of people, they can't bug out. They're tied down. Either they've got health problems, they've got relatives got health problems. And well, I think it is too, in a way, unless you had a group to bug out with, or a very remote area that you could get to. One of the bigger concerns I'm concerned with right now is Wednesday, the 11th. That's the first possible rumored day of the trucker strike. And then they're talking about, I think, the 28th and 29th of the month, possible trucker strike. So if that's the case, that's going to affect everybody. It don't make any difference which side of the political fence you're on. That's going to affect you. It was being talked about earlier, so many businesses that have gone out due to the pandemic. They won't open back up. The jobs that have been lost. It was said years and years ago by the upper echelon, the elites or whatever, that you could, as long as you were giving something away, you'd keep control over people. And that's never been truer than today. And just like everybody else, I fall into that category because I flat cashed that stimulus check. I hadn't worked. I got sick and hadn't worked in almost a year. And that was a blessing to have that little bit of extra money. But I used it for preps, things that were going to do me better in the long run. Yeah, Vester, I'm afraid you're right. But in that case, knowledge is power. Just like being able to plant a garden. If you need to make something or build something. I mean, even down to knowing how to do plumbing. I'm pretty much a jack of all trades and a master of none. I can mechanic, I can build, I can do plumbing. I can cook because a fat boy likes to eat. No doubt. See, no, they can't take knowledge away from you. Yeah, if you just get that electrical deal going, you'll have it made, Teresa. But how many people Okay. How many of you have prepped for an alternate way to cook if the grid was to go down for some reason? See, that's a good skill to have right there. You got a rocket stove. I know we discussed that yesterday, Miss Teresa, but you know, that should have been tops on your list is talking to her and letting her know you need it done. How much starter pine do you have gathered up, Teresa? See, that's good right there. But you did talk about needing oil lamps. Okay. Do you have gas for your camp grill? Nicole, you have gas for your camp grill. Okay. There you go. You got that much going on. Now, when you was talking about charcoal and charcoal lighter, something I saw the other day, which made complete sense, was use a paper towel and olive oil or oil, and the oil will allow that paper towel to burn like a wick. Needing alternatives being completely electric. If you've either got a gas grill outside or a charcoal grill, you need to have, if you got it, either a cast iron griddle, cast iron skillet, because this cheap aluminum stuff is not going to last on charcoal or anything like that. Yeah, Dutch oven. My favorite little grill is the Lodge Sportsman's Grill, the little cast iron grill. I love those. I've got one. I've had more than one. Well, that's something you need to check into. Okay, that's good. You got a big cast iron frying pan. Just 4 different sizes of ester? Oh my, that's, I guess everybody's not a cast iron nut like I am. Best way to find you a cast iron is go to a yard sale if you want to get good cast iron. If you just want cast iron for the sake of having cast iron, you can go to Walmart and pick it up. We're all hating on Facebook. Facebook Marketplace is always a good place to pick up a cast iron skillet, or find a yard sale with somebody that's got some cast iron. I know a lot. I had a lady that one of the northern states, where she was from, up around Chicago or somewhere in there. She said the thrift stores were always full of cast iron. Because kids think the newfangled stuff is better. And the thing about cast iron is, if you have to get out in the yard, if you don't have a rocket stove, you have to get outside and build you a fire in a 5-gallon bucket, and cross it up with some metal or something. You can cook over that. I don't make me swear to it if they're open or not. I don't know. I know people are still having them. Yeah, Big Lots and TJ Maxx will even have cast iron skillets at times. Well, I'll say this. If you ever run up on cast iron and somebody's wanting to get rid of it, you all know who to call. Because I love restoring it. Well, Ladette, that's a good thing that you got. I went through one of those ugly things called a divorce and lost a lot of mine. Yeah, my daughter made a grocery haul today too, Vester. What do you mean by items they need? That we're looking for like a wish list to get, or for people that are looking for it, or so somebody might look in their area. Well, that's what I was asking. If you're, asking what we're looking for as far as filling in the holes that we have, so you can say, well, that might be something you want. Or a lot of times I'll ask people and say stuff if they run up on ammunition or something in their area I'm always willing to help somebody out and, barter with them or whatever. And hi, Miss Joyce. Just so y'all know, I'm not really grumpy except first thing in the morning. Till I get my first glass of tea, yeah, I'm worse than somebody wanting coffee. My poor little bulldogs, they just kind of go sit in the corner and wait till I get that glass of tea. Okay. Well, one thing that went off kind of sales, Harbor Freight was giving away free batteries the other day. Hey, that's a good deal on that black powder. Yeah, I got that covered on my end. Got a year's worth of hygiene type stuff. Yeah, that was something that I intend on telling TJ. Is at one point in time, Harbor Freight had a little 3/4 or 1 horsepower. Um, I want to call it a trash pump, a little small water pump. Must have been a night in line for that kind of money. Visitor. But TJ was talking about her gardening. So these water pump things, they come in quite handy. Yeah, blankets is always a good thing to have. Sleeping bags. Oh no, you can't. Oh, you can't dig cast iron out. It has to. Oh no, if you're not using it, that's just wrong. You prep what you eat. All right, big iron black water filters. That's something. It may be the cheaper way to do it, but I'm going to build one out of 5 gallon plastic buckets and water filters, and probably have less than $40 in it total. It may not be stainless steel, but if you want to do stainless steel, you can go and get the big stock pots the from either like the dollar store or somewhere that's got a big stock pot that's stainless and use it. Get 2 of them. And then the filters are less than $20 on Amazon. And then the spigot is about $8. Blankets. I like my military wool blankets. Those things are warm. Not to mention wool is waterproof. Well, I've gotten two. I've never really had a problem. Exactly. That would be what I would do. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The one that Alaska Prepper did. The same difference. But the Berkey filters are like $70 for two of those. When you can get, there's other brands. I have two of the military sleep systems myself, Bester. I had three, and I let somebody talk me out of one of them. I gave $6 a piece for them. That's things talking about alternative heat sources. Yeah, especially for the Berkey. But look at them on Amazon; they're cheaper. You can get two of them for about $17, $18. The little dome filters. But I lost my train of thought. My brain is sleek at the moment. Oh, talking about alternative heat sources and things. If you were staying in your house and all, you can get the bubble wrap, like for wrapping packages or whatnot, and put it over your windows for insulation. All you got to do, spray a little water on your windows, a little soap in it, put them on there. When it dries, it'll stick to the windows. Well, some of the filters you may need to still boil the water. But it probably wouldn't hurt at all to boil the water anyway. You know, that's something out of all the programs or everything that I see people talking about. Nobody ever talks about going when they find a water source that may or may not be contaminated, or it looks like green stagnant water, that they can back off from that water's edge about 10 feet and dig a well, and the earth will filter any of that bad stuff out of there, and then you can boil that water and have good drinking water. But nobody has said anything about digging one of those wells. I can go all the way back with my prepping skills to Gomer Pyle, to that show of when Gomer got sent on the survival training. Yeah, that works. Y'all, I promise you, if I wasn't tied down in this darn chair, I'd be doing a lot more and actually out hands-on stuff. Because I've got a big enough piece of property that I could do it. And like I say, there's that bubble wrap, insulation wrap that you can buy for duct work that has the foil lining on it. You can use it to make insoles for shoes to keep your feet warm if you're outgoing. You can cut it to fit windows and reflect heat. Oh, Vester, I know you would. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of this darn chair. It's getting closer and closer every day. That stuff wouldn't be too expensive, I don't think, Miss Teresa. You asked me how much longer I'm gonna stay on, Miss Joyce. Oh, I know, Vester. I don't know. You got somewhere you need to go, Miss Joyce? Or am I boring you already? Or is somebody else coming on a live stream? Probably need to get off. Been on here a little over an hour. Yeah, it'd always be better to filter the water and boil it. Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's an autoimmune thing. I'm waiting on nerves to recover. The faster my nerves recover, the faster I get out of it. But like I say, I would rather it happen to me than somebody else. Well, I appreciate that, Nicole. I'm about to get to where I can get around on one leg, but I'm just blessed to still be here. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. I got put here in front of you people to talk to y'all and maybe help y'all a little bit, and y'all help me. Used to be a thing that would float around Facebook saying that I break my I break my back to help other people, but who's going to push my wheelchair when it's my turn? Oh Lord, I must have prayed for patience at one time. I have found out really and truly who has my back as far as if I need help when it comes to being in this chair. I had close people, close family members that were not. I have close family members that did not even come to see me in a year. You're doing plenty of help, Miss Laura. Yeah, that's the reason I got started on. I figured I can do lives off my laptop. I said, well, at least I can do it. I can talk to people that way. But everybody here, I know it gets old when you try to tell somebody, what's going on. But you just, I know it's almost like beating your head against the wall, but you still got to do it. If you wake one person out of 10 up, you've done good. Oh, my dad, bless his heart, he's passed, but he would say I'm crazy. Yeah, you're so right about the illness scares folks. I'm living my greatest fear right now. I used to do pest control, and once a month I had to go to a nursing home and see those people in that nursing home on Monday morning always. And that was heartbreaking. I'm not in a nursing home, I'm at home. But it's still, I'm living my worst fear. And I have never been a patient person. So I am being taught patience. One of my physical therapists told me, at one time, he said, "You're not the most patient person in the world." And I agree. I'm not. Anyway, this is not about what's going on with me. Well, Miss Laura, I mean, you've got me, you've got Vester, you've got Miss Teresa at McCombs Kennels. It's no more than an email away. You know, I don't claim to know everything, but if I don't know it and you ask me, I'll find out something. Well, I'd be a lot more prepared because my daughter can't, she works it, and I could get out and do this stuff. And I know what I want done, how I want it done. Just like the chicken coop I talked about that was given away today that I could have got. Had I had my legs, I'd have a chicken coop sitting on my trailer. It was one of the people at Vester and I follow, uh, Bear Independent. He says, do the things. We all have to do these things. Yeah, Nicole, there are a lot of fantastic people in nursing home. And bless their hearts, some of them, they sit up in there and they don't have anybody that'll come talk to them. Yeah, Joyce, he is a character, but I like him because he's real. Some people don't like him because he's pushing his product. Well, like you said, he's got to make a living, and that's how he's making his living. It's your choice whether to buy from him or not buy from him. He's not coming and holding you up saying, buy this. Well, when it comes to the older generation, even as a kid, I always thought they didn't know anything. And I knew it all. You can learn so much. That's why I like going back and looking on YouTube at the people that put on here about the Depression, things that they did during the Depression, what they cooked, how they ate. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, Vester. That leaves money for other things. Yeah, I wished I learned how to make moonshine. My great granddaddy. I'll probably get in trouble for that statement. There's so much you can learn if you watch and listen to what nature has to tell you. I'll dig you a hole in a 55-gallon drum for a septic, Vester. drill you a well. Yeah, I've done it too. I was the only child. My dad said there wasn't anything he and I couldn't do. I'll have to, I think I've seen it before, Ladette, but I'll check him out again. The only thing I've heard about wild edibles, the big thing about that is that you about need to be with somebody when they find it and know they've eaten it. I don't want to be the guinea pig that gets the mushroom and eats it and makes you twitch funny. Well, I don't know if land will go down um, because they're not making any more of it. It may get cheaper if somebody gets hungry and you've got the ability to buy it. It's just, right now we got to look at things that we've all been so used to everything being easy. If we can get things that'll make it a little bit easier or not as hard, yeah, I don't really want to guess if it's edible. Now, I'd like to find out about the chicken of the woods mushroom. I'd really like somebody to show me how to do the mushrooms. Um, I'd love to know how to do that. Well, all I know is, you can eat acorns, but you have to blanch them out and get the tannin out of them and then crush them. The thing that bothered me about that one episode of The Walking Dead where Rick was crushing up the acorns going to feed them to the baby. And I mean, that little piece of knowledge right there, knowing that he was just crushing up acorns, knowing he couldn't eat them, They can be made into flour, but he couldn't eat them, or the baby couldn't eat them. That was kind of crazy to me. Y'all, I'm a big Walking Dead fan. Fear the Walking Dead, The World Beyond. You know, I like looking at all that because some of that stuff they come up with and some of the gadgetry they come up with would all stand to reason. That gives me ideas of how to make and how to manufacture stuff. Yeah, I don't remember that exactly, but I know you do have to soak them and boil them or whatever, or boil them. They have a tannin in the acorns that is poisonous. But you can make flour out of them once you've done the whole process. And so that's one of those knowledge things that I remember part of the knowledge, but I don't remember it all. But I do have a book that has it in it. You kill that poor chicken to end up in almond flour. I know. I wished I could do keto, but you see there, it made my head itch even thinking about eating healthy. Yeah, I do that making a lot of notes off of YouTube channels and everything else. Well, I know several people that keto diet has worked really, really well. I don't know who is PT. That's not PT News. That's not anybody that we really follow, I don't think, or I don't really follow. Survival Living was somebody I was trying to think of a while ago. He's another good one to watch. Keto wouldn't be that hard to hit to stay on. You just couldn't eat pasta. Yeah, MD Craigmore's good. I hadn't read his book, but yeah, I watch what I eat too, Vester. Right from my hand, right to my mouth. Did y'all see where Biden said he was going to make it a mandatory mask for everyone to wear masks in the U.S.? Well, I wasn't trying to make anybody speak ill. I was just bringing up something. Yeah, you can write down recipes. You ever seen a dog with a nub tail try to catch it? I wished I could show y'all. No, Penelope. No. Penelope is one of my Boston Terrier bulldogs. I don't know if you can hear that or not. When it gets between 8 and 9 o'clock, she decides it's time to go to bed. Yeah, Miss Joyce, she don't know she's a dog. She thinks she's a four-legged person. That's good, Miss Teresa. You're right. He is. He's making a COVID some kind of panel of 10 or 12 people. He's even saying he's going to meet with the governors and manufacturers for a vaccine and try to make a vaccine mandatory. Good luck with that. No, it's just your opinion, Joyce. I mean, I don't see why they'd want to meet with him. I was having a discussion last night, and it's not been against females, but you're going to have so many countries that are not going to want to deal with a female vice president. They're just not. You know, Europe would because they've had a female prime minister and they've been under the queen. But any Arabian or any Muslim country is not going to will not deal with a female. And unfortunately, I don't necessarily see it this way, but even China and all is going to look at us as weak for having a female in that position, much less if they turn around and we get her as a female president. Well, what's going to make it bad is they're going to feel like they can come over and do whatever they want to because we're not going to be able to stand up to them. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Y'all knew what I was shaking my head about, huh? She's standing up on my lap trying to get me to go to bed. That or she needs out. I don't know which one it is. Anyway, guys, like I was saying to start with tonight, I appreciate everybody coming and watching. I appreciate everybody sharing it. You know, share all the little guys and let's try to get everybody we come across that's trying to get up to 1,000 subs and their watch hours. Let's try to help them get up there. You know, if I get there, I get there, or when I get there, I get there. I'm not that worried about it. I'm going to post my email again before I go, just in case somebody wants it. And that way, if anybody has anything they want to ask me, get me to research or anything, I can do it. And yeah, I'll be happy to help anybody any way I can. Yeah, Johnny is a good guy. Yeah, that's. I don't want to be famous, Bester. I just want to help. I have knowledge that I, can share. And when you get to know me a little bit better and find out some of the stuff that I have actually done, you'll understand. Like I said, I've been in law enforcement and some other capacities, and yeah, it's just in my nature. I know, Vester. I'm just saying. All right, ladies and Vester, I'm gonna get off here. Like I say, you got my email there. If there's anything you want to know or I can help you with, just send me an email and we'll get to it. And we'll do another live and I'll try to record something else.